Hi, I'm Harold Bell, and this is the Legends of Inside Sports and the Way We Were. Well, today we will spotlight a legend of inside sports, the legendary Angelo Dundee, the trainer of boxing champions. Today we're going to listen to one of my last interviews I did with him before he went home to be with the Lord in 2012. In this interview in 1995, we will talk about the return of Michael Jordan to the NBA after his brief fling with Major League Baseball, and Mike Tyson's return to boxing after serving 4 years in jail for rape. Let's take a listen to the great Angelo Dundee.
I'm in the Navy Capital. I turn to Inside Sports with my good friend Harold Bell, right here on WINX Radio 1600 on the AM dial.
Inside Sports with Harold Bell, 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, exclusively on Washington's AM only station, 1600 WINX.
Here's Al.
Hey, all right, man. I know you're all excited because my guest was all excited about that big game last night. Show Michael Jordan put on.
Oh, what a show.
I'm telling you, Michael moved the speed limit last night from 32 to 55. Before he started, I was confused. Madison Square Garden crowd. The Chicago Bulls slipped by the New York Knicks 113 to 111. Jordan 55 points broke a Madison Square Garden record he established in 1986. Yes, he's officially back. Well, we will travel down to West Hollywood, Florida this morning and visit a very dear friend. And boxing is all set up about the official return of Mike Tyson. This morning, we'll be talking to a man that will be watching his return very carefully. My guest this morning is a very special man, not because he's a legendary sports personality, but because he is a very special human being. He is without doubt the greatest boxing trainer in the history of the sport. He is called the trainer of champions. No one has trained more champions. Such familiar names such as the greatest, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Montana, Sugar Ray Leonard, and now American champion, 46-year-old George Foreman, to name just a few. I've known him since the heyday of Muhammad Ali. If there was one person in that entourage, and what personalities they had, besides the champions who handled success and did not let success handle him, it was this man. What you saw was what you got. He was always accessible and had a kind word for everyone. And I knew there were times when he felt like screaming. But that smile would always surface, and I thought about none other than the Godfather himself, Mr. Angelo Dundee. Good morning, Angie.
She got to brought my ring with me by the time for that. I'm telling you, Harold, you always ring the bell when you talk to Harold Bell. Yeah, Harold, the thing is that if you give a guy something off like that, he wants to take a walk. Isn't that wonderful? You can't doubt that.
I'm telling you, Angie, what about the return of Mike Tyson's boxing seems to have regained some new life. Everybody's talking about his return. How do you see his return, and how do you see his timetable?
I'm going to compare it to the Jordan return because it was very interesting to me last night where the New York crowd didn't know. Here they were, they didn't know where to root for the Knicks or to root for the Jordan. And you see the looks in their faces, they were in awe. I mean, all the star quality came out.
Yeah.
I think Tyson's going to create that also. Because you're going to have the good, the soothsayers or the good do-goodies and stuff like that. But Tyson right now is a very viable individual because question marks are there.
Right.
So when you have question marks, you have controversy. And Tyson, let's face it, he never made a bad fight. Win or lose, he was always in a great fight. There's nothing wrong with the guy, 28 years old. So we're going to find out how much talent is left there. Going to have to do a lot of hard work to get it back. Not that easy because he was more of a technical fighter than people made him. He's not just a charge forward kind of a guy. So I'm looking forward to it technically. Also, it's going to be a boost to boxing because everybody's going to be talking. Even Harold Bell's talking about it.
How about that? And hold that thought right there. We'll take a break and come back and ask you about maybe the matchup with George Foreman, your man.
Right.
Okay.
Hi, this is Tim Hardaway of Golden State Warriors, known for the killer crossover. When I'm in the nation's capital, I listen to Inside Sports with my friend Harold Bell on WINX 1600 on your AM dial.
Inside Sports with Harold Bell, 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, exclusively on Washington's AM oldie station, 1600 WINX. It's 8. once again, here's Harold Bell.
Thank you so much. We're talking to Angelo Dundee down in West Hollywood, Florida. Angelo has a beautiful facility. I'm just just visiting him down and tell me he has a beautiful facility down there like heaven. Angelo, tell us about that facility and tell us about George Foreman as you get out of here.
Well, the facility is something that I've always dreamed about having. It's a complete training facility. Train anybody, 3, 4, 5-year-olds that learn kickboxing, self-defense, karate, business people. I have my pros trained from 12, 15 to about 3, and I have about 16 of them, and they're all doing well, thank you. And I'm looking forward, per se, people are talking Tyson Foreman. I'm going to give the inside dope on that. But I think it'll come about because the public want to see this one. 46-year-old guy that made history, the oldest guy to ever do it. And then we're going to have George Foreman, Tyson. And guess what, Harold? I'll give the inside. Foreman will beat Tyson because for the simple reason there's always a guy out there who can lift the other guy. I think Foreman's got the style to beat a short guy because he's devastating against guys when he comes up and punches.
That's why I think George Foreman over Michael Moore. People thought I was crazy. I think Michael Moore is going to stand right in front of him, and George is going to catch up with him. I think the Tyson-George Foreman fight is going to be a dynamite fight, Angelo. There's no doubt about that. Andy, thanks so much, baby, for always being there. You know I love you, and keep up the great job that you're doing. I'm looking forward to getting down there to West Hollywood, Florida, and visiting you real soon.
I'm looking forward to come up there anytime with some of my talent and have some fun.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Okay, Dan, that's going to be it for the Inside Sports Report for this morning. Until 12 noon, I'm Harold Bell, and please have a winning day.
Okay, that was my favorite, one of my favorite people, the great Angelo Dundee. He was one of the greatest trainers ever in the history of boxing. And on top of that, he was a gentleman and a class act. He had a difficult task. Just think, if you had to be around an entourage of characters on the teams of the greatest Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm talking about the ego-tripping promoters, the hangers-ons, the cheerleaders, the player haters, and backstabbers. Angelo managed to stay above the fray. Angelo was truly the trainer of champions. He was in the corner of some great champions that included his first, Carmen Basilio, the welterweight and middleweight title holder of the 1950s from upstate New York. Although Angelo is best remembered for Ali and Leonard, he also trained the light heavyweight champion Willie Pastrano, the heavyweight title contender Jimmy Ellis, and the welterweight champion Luis Rodriguez. Angelo Dundee was an advisor for George Foreman when he regained the heavyweight title at the age of 45. You remember when he knocked out Michael Moyer, a fight that Moyer had won, but he decided he would stand in front of the big George Foreman. George knocked him out. Just thinking, more than 60 years in professional boxing, Angelo gained acclaim as a brilliant cornerman, whether healing cuts, inspiring fighters to battle on when they seem to be losing control, or adjusting strategy between rounds to counter an opponent's style. Ali wanted to quit in that first Sonny Liston fight in February 1964. Liston corner, according to Ali, Liston, they had added a foreign substance to Liston's gloves to blind him. And Ali had reservations about coming out for the 5th round, and he asked Angelo to cut off his gloves. But Angelo pushed him out into the ring with instructions, "Run, man, run." And Ali did. It was frustrating and a beaten Liston who refused to come out for the 7th round. Ali was still the heavyweight champion of the world. Ali told me, if you come back to the corner and Angelo says, this guy's open for a hook, or this or that, if Angelo tells you something during a fight, you can take it to the bank. As a corner man, Angelo is the best in the world. And that was according to my man, Muhammad Ali. Remember when Thomas Hearns had Sugar Ray Leonard all but beaten in their welterweight championship unification fight in September 1981? Dundee got Ray's attention in the 12th round when he told him, "You were blowing it, son, you were blowing it." Leonard regrouped and knocked Hearns down in the 13th round and won the bout when the referee stopped it in the 14th. Angelo was always the voice of reasoning. You know, he gave everyone equal time. It didn't matter if you were from CBS or WINX radio. Angelo was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1992. Well, that's going to be it for the Legends of Inside Sports and the Way We Were. Stay tuned for next time when my special guest will be legend, the greatest NBA coach in the history of the NBA, Red Auerbach. I will talk about how Red and I could have saved the life of Maryland University basketball star Len Bias, the real story 30 years later. Remember, every black face you see is not your brother, and every white face is not your enemy. You can color me gone. Until next time, I'm Harold Bell.